Welcome to the Shame 7 show for 2026, season 2, episode 1. Oh, today, day 1. Later, I'm going to talk about day 1, why us as human beings like to start something new. We always like to have this giant goal list, especially at this time of the year, when it's the new year, New Year's resolutions, Christmas is over, you're full of guilt of all this indulgence that you've been doing, all this indulgence on food, on alcohol, on laying down and being lazy. Now you've got this huge list, and a lot of the people are executing day 1 throughout January. But we had a horrible finish here in Australia to 2025 with these disgusting terrorism attacks down in Bondi. I hated seeing that. I hated hearing about that and reading about it in the news. Man, it really annoyed me. We don't have that sort of behaviour here in Australia. This is not a country where that kind of stuff happens, and it really annoyed me. I got really frustrated that we allowed that to happen. I got really frustrated that that happened here in our country. And one of my close friends was, 15 minutes before the shooting happened, he was on the bridge 15 minutes prior. A lot of people had a very, very sad end to 2025 and a really sad Christmas. So my heart went out to everybody involved and anyone who experienced any sort of loss. Hated seeing it. Over the Christmas break, I had such great rest. I was really trying to lose weight and lose fat, up until Christmas. And honestly, over the Christmas break, over 10 days, I put it all back on. I was really doing my best. I feel like we always crawl through to Christmas and we're like, let's just get to Christmas, man. Let's just get to Christmas. And then once Christmas happens, we are exhausted. We get sick. We can't get out of bed because we're so tired. And we eat ourselves into a coma and then we don't get off the couch. Oh, it's a great time. But I did that so much that I got really bored and I was itching to get back to work. So this week is my first week back on the job, back on the tools. And so I thought I would kick off the podcast and get it happening again. And today I want to talk about day 1. A lot of the times, a lot of people all over the world will be executing their New Year's resolutions. And it will be day 1 of the big goal. Day 1, get fit. And then they do a half-ass run around the block and then feel like they can't do it and they give up. Why the hell is it that we don't follow through on our New Year's resolutions? We get to about March and completely forget about them. Why do we do it? I feel like humans like day 1 better than day 100. And so we do everything in our power to start, but something happens along the way and we give up. We don't follow through. I'm a massive goal setter. I love the feeling you get when you come up with a goal, when you come up with this aspiring goal. It makes you feel great. It makes you feel incredibly motivated and it gives you a bit of a rush. Crossing it off the list is really hard. Why? So I did a little bit of digging. I did some research. And it turns out there's a few, 3 really strong reasons as to why we start our New Year's resolutions full of intention, good intention, and then we don't actually follow through. Number 1 is we are high on motivation. We're really high after Christmas, after feeling a bit guilty because we've overindulged in whether it's alcohol, whether it's too many prawns, or in my Italian family, pasta, or whether we've had too much ham, and we kind of let all of our diet go, and we just kind of went, yeah, let's just eat everything because it's Christmas. I'll have chips, I'll have chocolate, whatever, and then we put on some weight, and we drink too much, and we lay around. No one keeps up their fitness. Only those freaks, those crazy 1%ers. Keep up their fitness goals over the Christmas break. Everyone kind of relax. And because you overindulge, the guilt sets in. And then you're really like, nah, this is ridiculous. I've got to clean house. And you go through and you make this giant list and it's almost overreaching, overacting, and you're overcompensating for all of the guilt or all of the bad behavior you're trying to undo quickly. And because of that, you get really motivated and you come up with all these really incredible goals that you want to achieve in 2026. The problem is, and this is number 2, they're too vague. These goals are too vague. For example, get fit in 2026. Well, there's no specifics there. So if you have nothing to work to, you're kind of just shooting in the dark. You're just scratching around, foraging, and actually with nowhere to go. When you set a goal, it's got to be a really clear goal. And obviously when you write something down like, I'm going to get fit this year, well, what does that mean? Are you going to run a marathon? Are you going to be able to run 5 kilometers? Are you going to be able to do push-ups? What is the specific number that you're reaching to? How specific is this goal? What is it that you actually want to achieve? The more specific you can actually look at every single day, then you can kind of work to it. But number 3, the major problem, the major issue with why we don't follow through on our New Year's resolutions, no structure. We have no actual plan. We have no process. We just have the vague goal that we set with really great motivation and no actual small habits that we want to apply every single day. So for example, let's use this get fit. For example, this goal of I want to get fit in 2026. It's a fantastic goal and you can absolutely achieve it. The question is, how? Well, for example, are we going to start for the first week running for 1 kilometer every second day? That's a very easy thing to achieve for a lot of people. Week number 2, it will be running 2 kilometers 3 times a week. Week number 3, running 4 kilometers. Now we're stepping it up a little bit, but we're going to run it just once in that week. The point is, every single week or every single day, you need the smaller habits, you need the smaller goals. Here's the key. Think really big, but act really small. That's the goal. That's the aim. That's how you're going to achieve some of the 2026 New Year's resolutions that you have written down and come up with your high aspirations. So my goals for 2026. Number 1, I want to get rid of mindless scrolling on social media. Man, that is a blood-sucking mental vampire. Why does my brain seek dopamine so badly? Scrolling through, give me those videos. Oh yeah. Anyway, I've lost hours. Instead of scrolling, I want to read more. Now, I've just finished first book on the list, The Art of War by Sun Tzu. Instead of scrolling, I read. Felt really good to tick off the very first book for the year. I've got a list of about 12. Smash that one in 3 days. It's a very easy book to read. Really good, some good stuff in there. Doesn't take your mind away from reality, but you know, there's some good stuff you can kind of take away from it. I have run into a hiccup. The hiccup being instead of downloading or instead of having social media, I got a game, a little shooting game. And then that game turned into a business game where I get to set up a lemonade stand. And then that lemonade stand, after I earn a certain amount of money and upgrade the coffees and upgrade the lemonade, I get a cafe. And then from a cafe is to a fast food restaurant. And then from a fast food, anyway, I got deep, man. Like hours and hours and hours playing this game. More so than scrolling on social media. So I had to delete that. I had to go. There's something about this phone that has like this invisible cord to my head. So that's the goal this year, is breaking it. Read instead of scroll. So how I'm executing that on a daily basis. Number 1, I've deleted all of the games and all of the social media apps. Instead, I have a book near me all the time. Whether it's on the dinner table, next to the bed, next to the couch, or in my study. I have the book that I want to read. That's how I'm going to, on a daily basis, head towards my goal of not scrolling on social media. Instead of having this large, almost unobtainable goal, it's a daily goal that I can do every single day. My aim for 2026 is to create healthy habits rather than one specific goal that I have to reach to. I think that's one of the other reasons why we give up so quickly, is because we set out with a really high expectation on ourselves to the point where we're almost setting ourselves up for failure. And the moment we don't follow through on the first little thing, like for example, get fit or run every day, because it's quite extreme, we miss one day or we kind of have a blowout on a Saturday or whatever it is. And then you go, oh, well, I've stuffed it now, I may as well quit. It's like this all or nothing mentality, which is actually really damaging in the long run if you want to achieve something. We're all human beings and we fail. We make mistakes. We have slip-ups. And I think it's really important to understand that. It's really important to give yourself allowances and allow yourself to fail, to not do it one day. The point is not to give up. The point is to just keep going and go, yeah, well, I'm a human being, no wonder. It's all about reps on the board. You just have to keep on doing it. Keep on going. Your first one's gonna suck, your first week. Because my next goal this year, New Year's resolution, is to wake up at 4 a.m. every day. Now I did it, except for one day I slept in and I woke up at 5 a.m. instead. For some reason, either my alarm didn't go off or I didn't hear it because I was too tired. Instead of throwing in the towel and going, oh, well, I can't do it anymore, I broke the chain. And you just move on and you do it again the next day, and then the next day, and then the next day. And you keep trying to achieve that goal on a daily basis. Something that you can achieve and adapt into your life, adopt into your life on a daily basis and build a healthy habit. That's the trick. That's the aim. That's what's going to separate you from everybody else who's setting 2026 New Year's resolutions. The third one is enter a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu tournament. I still don't know about this. There's one in February. I don't know, you got to follow your heart on these things and your gut. And my gut isn't saying, yeah, let's go. So I'm like, is that something I really want to do? Like, I'm 35. If I go against some person who's an aspiring MMA and they're going to break my arm, I'm like, do I really want an injury at this age? I really like training jiu-jitsu. I love it. So do I want to break my arm or something? I'm still actually in two minds about it. I do have the whole year to do it, but apparently so many people at my gym have told me, if you're going to compete, do it when you're a white belt. And I'm a 4-stripe white belt. So before I get my blue belt, I should compete because I would be at the higher end of the white belts. But once you're a blue belt, sometimes people are blue belts for 10 years. The other goal is building fast twitch muscle fibers. That's what I want to do this year, is retrain my body to work out building fast twitch muscle fibers, which is not something I've ever done. I've always been quite slow. I'm not a fast person. I don't move quickly. I'm like a steam train. It takes me a long time to get going. But when I'm moving, man, I'm full steam ahead. But I don't just get up off the mark quick. I've always been a long distance runner, not a sprinter. I've always lifted weights slowly and controlled rather than explosive movements. Just always has been. But I want to shift that and I want to train myself to move quicker so I can be better at jiu-jitsu. The other goal is I'm going to spend this next year speaking in primary schools. I love speaking at primary schools. It's so rewarding. It's so much fun. And I love speaking to kids. They're really enjoyable to deliver my presentations to. Plus, I stick around after the school day and I speak to parents and teachers as well and run a bit of a workshop. I really like that work. I really like it. It's really enjoyable, and I haven't done many primary schools over the 5 years I've been a motivational speaker. So this year, I am targeting primary schools all within a 4-hour drive within where I live here in Brisbane. That's another one of the major goals that I'm focusing on this year. Also, dedicating my goals to this podcast. As you can see, I'm still in my study. This is like a really crappy makeshift studio, okay, with my iPhone, a microphone, and some lighting. Now, that's all you need, but it looks budget. So this year, my goal is I want to record 100 of these on my own. Now, that doesn't have to be in my room here. I can hire a studio or whatever, but I want to do 100 solo episodes. And here's why. If you're watching this, not many people are watching it with you. I have a very, very small audience, okay? Very little following on social media. It takes a long time to build a quality audience. Never in my life have I built an audience. I've only ever walked into a platform with an audience. When I was on TV, when I was on radio, they already had audiences and I walked in on it. I've never built one from the ground up. So my goal is to build my own core audience. And that's done through repetition. There's no shortcut. You just have to do it over and 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 over. So, 2026, they are my goals. They are regular, habitual actions that I can tick off on a daily basis. Here's a little trick for you with your New Year's resolutions and your day ones. Every time you write a to-do list and you cross something off that to-do list, there's a little bit of dopamine that reaches your head and you go, oh, kind of like you just weed in a pool. You know that feeling? You're like, oh, or someone scratches your back, or like when a dog drags their bum against the ground and you can tell they really enjoy that. The same thing happens on a micro basis when we have a to-do list and we cross something off. So instead of setting this high, far away goal of running a marathon in 8 months, try and set a goal for your day ones for regular habits that you can cross that off the to-do list every single day towards that massive goal in 6 months' time or something. But something you can do every day that is small for the really big goal. Remember, think big, but act small. I would love to know what your New Year's resolutions and your day ones are here in the comments. So leave a comment, subscribe, follow, and tune in for episode 2. Happy New Year!